In other words, when the sun rises, everybody says the sun has risen. What better way to describe the person who is sitting next to me? क्योंकि ये वो हैं जिन्होंने पहले हमें डराया, फिर दुल्हनिया को चुराया. I think I'm going to be the envy of millions today because we've seen him good, we've seen him bad. We've seen him single, and now we're going to see him double because he's here for the premiere of his latest film, Duplicate. He is, of course, the one and only Shahrukh Khan. Welcome to the show, Shahrukh. Well, I guess the first question is probably the most obvious, and that's many an actor before you has done a double role, so what's so different about your double role?
I don't know, I won't be able to really say myself what is so different about the double role that I've done. The only thing that I kept in mind doing it, normally all great performances that I've seen, like Ram or Shyam and Sita or Geeta, Chalbaz, and some double and triple roles Mr. Bachchan has done. The bad guy turns out to be the more interesting one. Because Ram or say Sita is always the more docile, sweet person, and somehow not boring, but they are a little low-key in the film. So when the bad guy comes in or the badmash guy comes in, so he takes over the whole film. And in this film we have tried to make sure that the good guy is as interesting as the bad guy, and even more so at times. The bad guy is quite nice, I think it's nice, but the good guy is really sweet, different. It's a character which is of a very high key. It's of a like the slapstick genre, and
Jim Carrey, if I'm right.
Jim Carrey, Jerry Lewis, and Mahmood Saab, and it's completely madcap, demented level, and the performances are on that level. Like it's a kind of film where you're supposed to laugh when somebody slips on a banana peel. So as a tribute, we even have that shot in the film, and it is that kind of film. It's wacky, and that is what is so different, because it's a double role which has been not taken too seriously. It's because I think the whole premise of a double role is illogical. So we decided to make a senseless film because the whole premise is senseless. You don't have two people who look like each other. That's one difference. So it's completely illogical and mad. It's just a good time.
You think so? क्योंकि बड़ों से मैंने सुना कि हम सब का दुनिया में कहीं ना कहीं हम शक्ल जरूर है. So
I don't know which badas say this because I don't know how many of them have come across each other who look like. Yeah, and the thing is, they're not twin brothers. So
yeah, they're not twin brothers. But even Napoleon in his court was said to have 3 humshakals, and he used them to his advantage.
That kind of duplicates even I have in my films who looks a lot like me, but it's...
is it useful?
It's first, he does some of the stunts, or he shows the stunts to me and stuff like that, but he doesn't look exactly like me. He's better looking. But it's like, they don't look exactly, you don't have identical looking people if they are not identical twins. So the premise being so illogical, so the character is illogical, and they do a lot of stupid, silly things, and then, as I said, they're not brothers, so that is different. And then, of course, the audience has to decide how different they are, because it's my interpretation of a double role. So that would be a little more 90s, perhaps.
Well, Manu's the gangster, if I'm right, and then you have Bablu, the cutie Khansama. So how is it for you? Because at one stage, Bablu becomes Manu, and Manu becomes Bablu, and it all gets confused. So how is it for you, like, trying to keep the two separate, as in how did you find that?
When we started the film, I had kept in mind that I'll do this one film as if I'm shooting 2 films on the same day. So I would go as one character and then quickly change into the other and do it. So that was easy. But then when we started playing, Bablu playing Manu and Manu playing Bablu, it's really like 4 characters.
Absolutely.
Because normally, again, that is the difference in double role. Like, normally when in a double role, say the bad guy decides to become the good guy, or, they exchange places, they act exactly like the other guy. They're very good at it. Like, say Bablu would be fantastic as Manu. He would just play Manu exactly to the hilt and fool everybody. But what we decided, Batsav and myself, was that they're bad actors. They both are very bad trying to do the other.
Bablu मैं नहीं, Bablu वो है. तुम Bablu चौधरी हो. देखो मैं तुम्हारा मन्नू, ये Bablu है. Bablu ये मन्नू. No. मैं मन्नू. एक मिनट आराम से. मन्नू.
But in effect, you were working with Shahrukh Khan himself, huh? You were working with yourself, those 2 of you. So how was that? It's the first time you've done a double role. How did you actually find it? Did you enjoy it more in the future?
I was glad the other Shahrukh didn't forget his lines. That really irritates me when actors forget their lines. And well, he's not bad.
It's not too bad.
He's a good co-star,
yeah. And as for your other co-stars, Sonali, who you've worked with before, and Juhi, 5th film together, if I'm correct?
4th film. Ramjane, Yes Boss, Raju, for fifth film, yeah.
Fifth film, no?
Fifth film, yeah.
So how was it having both of them together on the set? What kind of an atmosphere?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's very friendly. Duplicate is a unit which is, Bhatsab as it is a very friendly and...
Your second film with him, if I'm
yeah,
correct.
my second film with him, and my fifth film with Juhi, my second film with Sonali, and the whole team actually, Tiku Tulsania and Mohnish Bal and Gulshan Grover. It was quite a wacky team actually, but when we started shooting only, we decided we are all going to behave like kids about this film. This film is meant, for me, I think this is a film for kids. I mean, I have been a kid and I just always, these very childish and kiddish expressions throughout the film.
Hello? नहीं वो फोन पे नहीं आ सकते अभी नंगे हैं
Because everybody was supposed to behave like kids, and there were times when, like Farida Jalal, the first day she came on the sets, like Juhi herself when she came on the sets, they were a little awkward, doing scenes. Like we did the first scene we did was with Juhi was the police station scene, the Miss English scene. So you see the expressions in that. She was little, aren't we going like a little over the top and going mad? But we decided we'll just behave like kids, how kids would behave, and that's why the atmosphere on the sets was always fun and games. We were always like. Just everything, because it's a comedy, so invariably when you do a scene, the unit starts laughing, and it does bring a smile to everyone's face. So the whole unit itself, Sonali and Juhi and everybody, it was great fun actually. It was very nice because Sonali initially thought it's like her role is serious, but even she turns out to be quite nerdy by the time it went, so it was good fun.
So all in all, a very great experience. Okay, well,
yeah, one of the nicest ones.
Great. Well, I'm going to move on a little bit. It's slightly got something to do with Duplicate, but indirectly now. You have Bablu, who wants to be the best bauchi in the world. So, do you cook?
No, I don't cook. I can make tea, I can make eggs, but not very good.
Not very good.
Little dal I can make.
You faked it quite well then.
Yeah, special effects.
Talking about special effects, how was it working in this film? I mean, it's one of a kind so far when it comes to special effects.
Yeah, as far as Hindi cinema is concerned, yes, it's... the thing was that we have some nice shots which we have been inspired from. I mean, they're not exactly from foreign films, but multiplicity. We just saw films and we know that this can be done, and we sort of read material on it. And the only reason we can't do it in India so often and with so much, it's just very expensive. And our film budgets and our market is little less than foreign films, so you can't go really overboard with special effects.
It's catching up now, though, with all the foreign locations and... Generally it is, the budgets,
yeah,
I mean it will never be the same, but
yeah,
I mean
but special effects just used for the purpose of action and all, like we also use that. The car goes over the three characters and all in the end. So it's very safe when you have, say, girls involved in a shot who don't normally do action like Farida ji and Juhi.
Yeah, of course.
So it's convenient in some places like this car shot, or just to show that the guy is very shocked when the eyes pop out, like in the mask, So for that it's convenient and nice, but the double role in effect is very difficult to do. It's really difficult. It requires a lot of patience. Like
because usually we're used to what, a split screen and
yeah, normally they just put a black piece of paper or something, and then it's a Michelle camera, and they rewind it again and play it back. You read the counter. So here we had what is called a matting or compositing technique, and you have to do the scene once, and then you have to do it again, and somehow try and keep it as much interactive. So what we would do is, like, once I've done, say, Bablu, then we would put, which we read in some books, that's how they tried it. Then you put that video here for me to see, so I could react to what the person is saying. So most of the shots are not, like normally when you see a double roll, you're looking here and I'm looking here and you're talking, and it goes a little off-key, but this one isn't, in most of the places.
बेबे तू सिगरेट पी रही है मैं कौन हूँ? हेलो जी आप ना बबलू.
Some places in the movement is difficult. We still don't have motion control trolleys in India.
Something to look forward to.
Yes, that would be very nice. So some of the shots which are trolley shots were very difficult, but we did them to music, like instead of count. So like we would tell the trolley guy, like example, take a song like Mere Mehboob Mere Sanam. So every time he would push the trolley in that time, Mere Mehboob Mere Sanam, and it would stop. So you had a guy singing, you had a guy pushing the trolley, you had one guy enacting one line, the playback of the other person. So it was quite quite an experience.
Any singing yourself? Did you do any singing yourself?
No, I can't sing.
Not even for the cameraman?
No, I can do it for the cameraman.
Achha, another thing, Bablu is constantly trying to woo Sonia in the film, so what's the most romantic thing Shahrukh has ever done? Personal, but...
I don't know, what's the most romantic thing that I've done is I've offered Gauri tandoori chicken instead of vada pav. I think you can't get more romantic than that. I really don't know what's the most romantic thing I've done is... I'm basically quite romantic at heart, so I think everything that I do is quite romantic. But nothing specific like candlelit dinners and beaches and starlit nights and all. No, I just like reading them in the books.
Something a little more unexpected, a
little funnier, like tandoori chicken.
And as for the Shararti side, because that seems to come out in you, so the biggest prank you've ever played on someone?
No, strangely, like people find me Shararti on screen and all, but I have never played pranks.
Not even on the sets?
No, never. As a matter of fact, a lot of people think that, when they meet me, that I'll be like how I'm on screen. I'm funny, but I don't play pranks. Because pranks normally do tend to disturb people. They do at the end of it all not leave a very nice taste when they play it on somebody else. Because some have been played on me and I've like laughed that time, but it's like not really too funny afterwards. So I've not done too many pranks, not on the sets, but we have a very happy, all my sets actually. We make sure that we have a great time shooting every film. We don't take anything seriously. Like any film that I've done, I've done 25 films now. I think out of which 20 films have always been happy and funny. 5 have been sad
and of course it shows through when you're having a good time on the set.
Yes, at least because we can't control whether the film is going to do well or not. It's all, even this talk of being a top star and having amazing openings of films and being given positions and all this is I guess just on paper and in the magazines and even perhaps for the audience sometimes. But when they go to see a film, for them what is important is did they have a good 2.5 hours or not. So film is the most important, and we can't control the commercial aspect. And we do give about 150 days to each film of a life, which is like half a year. And when you sort of calculate, if I've done 25 films and I've given say half a year, so what 12.5 years have already gone into filmmaking. And even if I do happen to live till 60, so by the end of it all, maybe 30 years, half my lifetime would be in film. So the only way that you can look back upon it and be happy is the fact that while I was making the film, it was a great experience. Because when the film flops, it's a very bad experience. You feel very sad, and everybody wants to disown it and run away. And when it's a hit, you like it, but you don't earn any extra money out of it, or neither do you get any special awards for it. But the whole point is that when you've shot that film, it should be great fun when you're making it. That's what I believe in, so that you have memories of each film. So whether the film does well or doesn't do well, to you it's always special.
Well, the last year for you has been incredibly special with several hits. Yes Boss, Pardes, Dil To Pagal Hai, and in your personal life with your baby and everything. So a lot of people will not understand if you could want anything else, but is there still one unfulfilled wish that you do have?
Not at all. I always say I'll be ungrateful to God if I ask for anything more now. And how we say mashallah. I mean, I don't really think I can ask for anything else. I'd be greedy if I asked. Though I think greedy is good, but I can't be greedier now. And
start touching the wood.
But it's always I've put a lot of hard work over the years, and I think I've got more than I really deserve. And I'm not being modest about this. I really do think that in terms of popularity, in terms of films being liked, in terms of commercial success, I didn't really think I deserve so much, even as an actor. I think I'm good, but it does not mean that there are a lot of other people who are as good and even better.
I think a lot of people would say you're very modest.
No, I'm not being modest. I'm not all modest about acting and bits. I'm highly arrogant. But when it comes to really seeing, sometimes, normally one doesn't get time to reflect upon these things. But when does one even like flying down now back, if I'm just thinking about it, I came here 5-6 years ago for Bazigar, the same company, Ross International, had got us here. And that was the first time I'd come down to London. And for me that was an experience, coming down to London on my own steam without ever having to borrow money or coming down for studies. It was my work that got me here, so it was a feeling of pride. And then you come back here again and there are more people. Even if there weren't more people, even if there were as many people as there were when Bazigar happened, it would have been an award enough, because that was a popular film. And 6-7 years had just gone by like that. And I still feel that I've been able to entertain people, and I do feel that people have been really nice to me, I think more than I deserve, really.
I think that's an overestimation on your part, but one thing is you're very well known for taking on roles that a lot of other people would shudder at. Maya, Bazigar. Is that because you're a risk taker, or variety's the spice of life?
No, so, you know, that a lot of people tell me when I do roles, like even a film like Duplicate, a lot of people will be skeptic about the way a hero like Bablu is played. You know, he's a bawarchi, and he's not really your regular macho hero. He doesn't fight in the film. He doesn't beat up anyone in the film. As a matter of fact, he always is asking for help from women. You know, all the three girls are stronger than him, whether it's Lily, whether it's Sonia, whether it's the mother. And he gets beaten up and mistreated by the bad guy. So he's not really your everyday hero. And even a film like, so Yes Boss, a lot of people criticized it, that it seems as the hero is a pimp. You know, he sells his girlfriend for money and stuff like that.
Exactly. So what makes you go for these roles?
It's just so much more interesting, because when I joined Hindi films, the first rule that I followed was that I wouldn't dance in a college. I wouldn't, go in the third reel start running after a girl and singing songs after her and trouble her and, you know, throw flowers in the classroom. And then by the time interval happens, find out that my mother is sewing clothes to, you know, keep me going. And at the end of the 16th reel, I'm saving the country from this guy who lives in the border and who's bald and who's very mean, and he wants to take over this country. And he happens to be a very fashionable terrorist, and I go and save the whole country. And in the whole game, I've even got my sister raped, but that's okay. You know, so I'd never wanted to do these 4-5
Thank God for that.
part of films. And when you're not doing these, that means you are somewhere along the line distancing yourself from 80% of the Hindi films that are being made.
Gee.
So only 20% are left, and amongst those 20% also, then you have to find people who are ready to make the kind of film which is in the parameters of Hindi commercial cinema. That is something I believe in, but has a little difference to it. That the heroine is not just a, she's just not a singing, dancing heroine. I mean, that's one thing I'm very proud of, that none of the heroines that have acted me in most of my films are just standing, dancing
Glamour
heroines.
dolls.
Yeah, they're doing, like, whether it's a new girl like Mahima in Pardes, or say Juhi in Yes Boss, or say Karisma and Madhuri in Dil To Pagal Hai. Sometimes I do play second fiddle in films, you know. So it's important to have a whole team which believes in cinema more than just characters or close-ups or, will I look like a hero, kind of thing. So I never wanted to look like a hero, mainly because I never thought I looked like a hero. So I always assumed that, look, if I'm not going to be the regular hero, then I might as well try and do different roles. And given the setup, commercial setup, it's not a question of risk. It's just that I just feel that I can pull it off. And I can pull it off only because people believe in films like that. Mm-hmm. So films like Yes Boss, and films like Bazigar, and films like Dar, and films like Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na, films like even Dilwale, where the hero doesn't take the heroine away. That was like a first. Otherwise, heroes always run away with the heroines. Yeah. So to do a hero's role with a little difference, like even Dil To Pagal Hai, the guy is your everyday sarcastic. He doesn't plead or cry. Right. When he says he doesn't love him, he doesn't like her. He's in rather hair. I mean, he doesn't like her so much. So it's very real. And I think people do like reality more now. They are shifting towards cinema where characters they see on the roads and in their real life should be there on the screen also.
That's something they've come to expect from you as well, to give something different.
Yes, hopefully. I mean, hopefully, if I'm given the chance, like I have been given in the last few years, and now if I'm given the chance, yes, I would love to continue doing that.
Well, we look forward to a lot more from you, but one little thing you want to tell either me or all your wonderful fans out there that you haven't told anyone else before?
No, I don't know. But my collar size is 15.5 inches.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Thank you very much.